news. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into Weather Extra. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. A lovely start to the day, but more of those pop-up storms, wet weather today. It's been very isolated in nature, but some lovely views. I want to take you to some of our First Alert weather app photos coming in from Glenn Smith there. Glenn's always sharing some lovely sunrises from Vance, but nice view there. But I just want to give a shout out for all of you for sending in those photos on the First Alert weather app. We certainly received them and love the views out there, and we'd like to share those with our viewers here on Weather Extra. There's Shelby, Alabama, Spring Creek area. Thank you, Cindy, for sharing that photo. We got some storms on radar. It was so interesting. We had one storm. It popped up. Thing lasted about 30 minutes in the Irondale area. Look back to the west here. You can see some storms, some cells trying to develop back in towards Coleman County. That's the view from Nectar, and we're seeing some of that development looking back towards the west direction. But temperature right now at 88 degrees, and with this kind of heat, we're in the window right now where things could pop any location, those random pop-up storms. But looking back towards Coleman County, you can see a storm there, a little cell that's developing. You can see the clouds associated with that, but not raining at the moment in Nectar where it's 88 degrees. But this is another little cell that we're tracking just up the road around Sneed that's moving to the east. A little bit of lightning with this, so first alert parts of Blount County for a storm there, and also around Addison tracking a storm around Highway 278 moving to the south. Some real heavy rain, possibly some small hail in here with this as this tracks in towards parts of Smith Lake. You certainly don't want to be on the water with these storms out there. Tomorrow, very limited rain chance, and should be some nice weather for programming weather radios. We'll be at Mills Pharmacy. Hopefully you can stop by if you're in Greene, Hale, Pickens County. Come on down and see us tomorrow. We'll be at Mills Pharmacy. You can bring your weather radio. Make sure we'll double check it if you want to double check to make sure that the radio's program. Also, there will be some weather radios for sale there at Mills Pharmacy. And, of course, we can answer any questions you have, help you out with that First Alert weather app for tomorrow as well. But coming up, I'm going to walk you through the 7-day forecast. We'll let you know about a front that's going to move in, and this could have a big impact on what happens later in the week. We'll show you that, what's happening around the nation as we continue here on Weather Extra.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama, always on your side.
The First Alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day, Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
All right, welcome back into Weather Extra. One of the big weather stories across the country has been the wildfire smoke over Canada, and the upper level wind pattern, the way it's been oriented, it's been pulling in some of that smoke across the eastern third of the country, and we've ended up with some big impacts on air quality, especially across New England, places like New York, some of the worst air quality in weeks, in places like I was noticing some photos coming in from around Hartford and Connecticut, seeing those poor air quality conditions, and you can just kind of see this as we look at some of of the modeling for some of these fires. You can see where they're happening there in Canada, and follow the way the upper level winds are oriented. It's bringing in that smoke from north to south, and it's wrapping in around this upper trough. As for us, we're seeing some of that migrating southward, certainly not as thick as what's impacting parts of New England. However, if you do notice, next couple of days here, some areas where we don't see quite as much rainfall, a little bit of that haze on the horizon. That's what's causing it. It's from the wildfires in Canada. In fact, this is not the only week this has happened. It's happened multiple times here over the past couple of weeks. Kind of a unique pattern here going into the month of June. We've seen an active northerly flow, and we often see a more northwest flow this time of the year, and disturbances moving in. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here later in the week, especially the weekend. By Sunday, we could see some strong storms dropping in from the northwest. But here's what the upper level pattern looks like right now. This always kind of tells a story. The upper air winds really digging in across the southwest U.S. We have an upper level low here, and then we got a big ridge across the heart of the country, and then another trough that digs in here across the eastern U.S. around an upper low. You can see how all that precipitation around that upper level low pressure system's right there around the core of that low pressure area, and we're getting those showers that wrap in from the north, and it's helping also again bring in some of that smoke that's from the fires there in Canada. And over the next couple of days, the next few days, this low continues to spin, and what happens, it sort of digs in across the mid-Atlantic region and helps to send sort of a backdoor cold front in from the northeast towards Alabama, and that's going to move in around Thursday, and it looks like, based on what we're seeing here, it is going to make it all the way to the Gulf Coast. So that is going to usher in a noticeable drop in those muggy levels, which it's not terribly humid right now, but it's going to be even drier by the time we get to Friday with this particular setup, and that's also going to limit just how much rain we see. Again, you can see what you're basically looking at is colder air aloft. You've got colder air aloft in here. Air's warm at the surface. Air's rising. You end up with the precipitation. You can see back to the west where the heat's kind of building. But that's a look at Thursday, and you can clearly see where the more unsettled weather, at least more widespread rainfall impacts will be located. We have seen some stronger winds aloft that have been working their way across the region. Yesterday, you can notice some of the storms that popped up across Alabama. You could kind of tell some of those upper level winds were shearing some of those clouds back off to the east direction. But it looks like today we're seeing the caps really holding on today. We're not seeing quite as much explosive growth as far as the afternoon storms are very isolated for us. And just looking at how those winds are oriented across the upper plains, there's going to be some moisture that does make it around that high pressure ridge that's over the heart of the country. Could see some of that wet weather dipping down in towards perhaps the mid-Atlantic region, or I should say the Midwest. If you have a trip planned and maybe have a connection flight there around Chicago, a chance that there could be some rain and storm action happening in that more active northerly flow here through Wednesday. Looking back to the west, I mentioned that upper low that's moving in across the southwestern U.S. That's bringing in some moisture, drawing it in across parts of Arizona and New Mexico, back in towards Utah, and also we'll see that risk for some storms that will set up back in across parts of Texas and New Mexico as well over the next couple of days. But that's what's happening around the country. Obviously the northeast, far southwest, you can see some more widespread impacts there as far as rain. And as for us across the southeast, well, we're going to have that chance for a few isolated storms for tomorrow, but it looks like Thursday, I mentioned that front that can move in. I'll show you how that all times out and how it could impact our weekend. That's next in our 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
If your bath looks like this or this, you know it's time for a replacement. Hey everybody, Joe here with BJ Worzen, owner of West Shore Home, to talk about how he's making sure you get the best possible value on your shower or bath replacement. BJ.
That's right, Joe. Now more than ever, I want to make sure people are getting the most for their money. And there's a few ways we're doing that. First, we have hundreds of styles and options for your bath remodel, so you can make sure you're getting exactly what you want. Second, as you know, we only use employee installers, never subcontractors. So our crew is going to follow a process to make sure everything is installed properly. And then finally, a few days after the job's done, we're going to give you a call and make sure you're 100% completely satisfied with that experience.
Amazing, because a lot of contractors will show up and the second they're done, the customer's on their own. You're saying West Shore is there every step of the way, even following up after the project's done.
You got that right, and it's all backed by our online reviews. Right now, we have over 26,000 5-star reviews.
That just shows how much you truly care about your customers. Now, how about somebody who needs that shower right now but's been putting it off because of cost? How can you help them?
So we're making bath remodel affordable for almost any budget. For a limited time, you can get your shower or bath remodeled for only $99 a month. And for anyone's watching this commercial right now, if you call in and mention it, we're gonna throw in free installation as well.
You're saying you'll do the entire project from tear out to complete installation for as low as $99 a month.
That's right, let's take a look at the project. Here's a time-lapse video of one of our installations. You saw there, we started in the morning, removed everything down to the studs, and put in a new shower all in the same day. Here's some more. Easy low-step showers, deep soaking tubs, beautiful wall styles, and modern accessories. We can do jobs like these for as low as $99 a month.
BJ, thanks so much. Folks, West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling more affordable than ever. Call now and take advantage of this extended offer. Get your new shower or bath for as low as $99 a month. And you heard BJ, if you call in now, he's going to do free installation on that project as well. Call the experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Time lapse over the city of Birmingham for today. And watch how these clouds, with the heating of the day, they start to bubble up. This starts out during the morning, and you can see what happens when you start getting these rising temperatures, these little parcels of air as they start to rise. And in the afternoon, that leads to storm development. Also, notice back here to the north, looks like a fire that happened earlier. You see that? Was captured there on our time lapse, but look at how the clouds, they just kind of build in across the afternoon. That's going to happen again tomorrow. The coverage of storms, though, very isolated. I was hopeful we'd see a little bit more rain for today, but it looks like tomorrow we're going to see another day with not a lot of rainfall. But where we get those 1 or 2 storms, lightning starts popping. We even had some reports of some small hail around the Irondale area earlier. It's hard to believe that happened today because now it's all quiet and we got the sun back out in some of these areas, but things can evolve in a hurry on days like this, but not a lot of rain showing up. Most areas staying dry. In fact, Birmingham back up to 82 degrees. We dropped to 79, now back up to 82. A couple of tiny showers that we're seeing here around Winston, Coleman County. Next 24 hours, though, wet weather. Again, I mentioned not a lot of rain happening. It's going to stay very, very isolated. There's 6 a.m. tomorrow, out the door again near seasonal temperatures, which is typically right around 67 degrees for a morning low. That's average for this time of the year, so we're right where we should be temperature wise. Could use a little bit more rain, though. I know a lot of us out there, we really need some rain for the garden, and it's still not too favorable tomorrow. By lunchtime, we're getting back into the mid to upper 80s, but another day where we're mostly dry. And then this shows in the afternoon. This is just a model, and it's suggesting Talladega could get a little bit of wet weather perhaps, but this just really gives us a good idea of the kind of coverage that we're looking at tomorrow, and you can see it's not too widespread. So there's Wednesday. How about Thursday? Well, we have a front that's going to be moving in from the north on Thursday. You can see that front here. It drops in. Models telling us that it could move in during the morning on Thursday. So the best chance of rain is going to be associated with this front Thursday. So if it moves in earlier in the day, that might limit just how much wet weather. Even though this front's going to help increase the chance of rain, we would really see that wet weather kind of peak out during the heating of the day. And by the time that happens, well, this is all going to be south of us. So the way it's timing out, a lot of us can miss out on some of that heavier rainfall Thursday. See that? That's showing 3 o'clock, and you can see just as the rain really starts to ramp up, most of it south of our area, down in the Montgomery area. But if this times out, slows up a little bit, there's a chance some of that wet weather could start to develop just as this is moving across the area. Hopefully we get some rain out of it, because then a couple of more dry days. Right now Saturday's trended drier. I did mention a stray shower, but drier air takes over for Friday and into Saturday, and then Sunday late we'll start to see that rain coming back. So into Sunday morning still looks dry. We'll have some time to get out on the lake Sunday afternoon out by the pool, but we will need to watch out for those storms making a return. It looks like we'll see a big increase there going into the start of next week, with those highs right around 85 there on Monday, overnight lows in the mid 60s. So there's a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll get in for a closer look on where we're tracking some of those pop-up showers right now. That's coming up next as we continue here on Weather Extra.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go.
You are included with with a storm like
She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert weather.
Welcome back into Weather Extra. At this time, we're tracking a few isolated areas of rain off to the north. We have one storm right now over Winston County in the Addison area. This thing has hardly moved, but anywhere out here around Smith Lake, you want to be under cover right now. You don't want to be out on the water with this lightning that's popping. We had a little shower that has weakened around Sneed, Walnut Grove. Areas to the south, just not seeing a lot. The little shower there around the Homewood area, but we did have a storm that was in Irondale. That has dissipated. But a couple of pop-ups you can see in here to the far north that we're seeing right now. Not a lot of rain out there, and it's going to stay this way for the next few hours. We'll see a similar trend for tomorrow. Looking at the next 24 hours here for this evening, the wet weather dissipates, temperatures falling into the 70s. You can see a light west wind that will go calm later on tonight. We have rain coverage staying kind of isolated. Even Thursday, still some question marks how much rain depending on the timing of the day. I think Sunday and into Monday we'll see those rain chances becoming a bit more widespread and then dropping off there into Tuesday of next week. This is what some of the global data shows here as far as the coverage. You can get a good idea. Notice tomorrow doesn't look too promising as far as rain. Thursday we'll have that chance as that moves south, a window there for the first part of the day. Friday, dry. Saturday's looking mostly sunny. Sunday, the rain, it will be moving back in from the northwest during the overnight and into Monday, so we'll see that chance coming back. So that's what we're tracking as far as the wet weather goes. I'll have updates on the 7-day forecast, more radar updates tonight starting at 9 o'clock, first at 9 on WBRC Fox 6. Have a great evening.